thanks for joining this runner's stretch. It's going to take us about 20 minutes. We're going to be focusing on a deeper stretch to help lengthen our muscles, give us a better range of motion, better range of movement, so that we can run better and reduce injury risk as well, evening out some imbalances in our body. So I recommend doing this about 2 to 3 times a week. Say it's only about 20 minutes. You can do it after a run or as a separate session or in front of the telly. If you're looking for a really quick stretch after a run, check out my other videos. I've got a very quick 6-7 minute stretch that you can do. For now, all you need is a mat, comfy clothes and bare feet. So come down to the mat when you're ready and come down to your back. We're going to start on our backs. Most of these stretches we're going to do lying, so it's nice and relaxing as well. So pop some music on in the background if you like. So bring your feet to the mat, hands by your side, relax your shoulders. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. Just push that right knee away. Feel that stretch in the front of your right hip crease there. And then we're going to reach behind our left thigh and then pull those legs towards us whilst keeping our right hip open. So trying to drive that right knee away at the same time. And feel that stretch in your right hip and glute area. We're holding these stretches for about 30 seconds-ish. Just long enough to actually help lengthen and relieve tension in that area. See if you can pull those legs a little bit closer towards you and deepen the stretch as we hold it. And try not to be carrying tension anywhere else in the body. So try and just relax. Gently pop your left foot down, keep the right up as we're going to send it to the sky to stretch out the back of our thigh, our hamstring. I'm sure many of you find these tight. For this stretch, hold behind your thigh or behind your calf if you're super flexible, not your knee. Relax your shoulders down, and I want you to point your toe up to the ceiling, feel the stretch down the front of your foot. Point your toes down towards you, feel that stretch down the back of your leg. Just a couple more, we're just pointing, then flexing the foot. Do it in your own time. And then keep those toes pointed down towards you, like you're trying to put a footprint on the ceiling. And we're hugging that knee as close to us as you can. Don't overdo it, it shouldn't be painful, but you should feel the stretch and try and straighten that leg. Your other foot can be out straight or foot on the mat, whatever you find more comfortable. And as again, we're just trying to deepen that stretch. The longer we hold it, straightening that leg, maybe pulling it a little bit closer towards us. Good, we're gently going to release, pop that down. Take the left ankle this time, cross it over the right thigh. Push your left knee away. And then we're going to reach behind the right thigh and hug those legs in. Notice one side might feel very different to the other. If you feel particularly tight on one side, you can hold that side, just pause the video and hold that side a little bit longer. We've got those imbalances in the body, they can lead to injury. So this will just help even out those imbalances. Hug those legs a little bit closer towards you. And just relax. Then gently put the right foot down as we send the left foot up. Remember, we're holding behind the thigh or behind the calf. Point the toe to the ceiling. Feel the stretch down the front of your down the front of your foot, and then down towards you, up to the ceiling, and down. Just do a few of those in your own time. Then leave those toes pointed down towards you. Straighten that leg. Other foot can be out straight or foot on the mat, you pick. Keep pointing those toes down towards you, straightening the leg, putting that footprint on the ceiling, relax your shoulders. Relax here for a moment. Try and deepen the stretch. And then we're going to gently release. Just going to grab hold behind your thighs to pull you up. Bring your soles of your feet together as we stretch out the inner thigh and work on our hip mobility. So a lot of stretches we do are around our hips, the centre of our movement. So if we can stretch and improve the mobility around our hips, that's going to help improve your range of movement in a lot of areas. Really help opening up your stride, relieve tension off smaller muscles and joints. That we don't want to be overloading those smaller muscles and your hip joints, your knee joints, your ankle joints. So soles of feet together. The closer your feet to you, the harder it is on your hip mobility. So pick kind of where you can push to without it hurting. We don't want any pain here. I'm just going to lean slightly forward. So without curving your back, we're going to curve your shoulders, just leaning slightly forward, keeping your chest open. Good, and release. Either cross your legs here, if you can. If you can't cross your legs, maybe you want to pop them out straight. Or if you can, this is an option, you're going to stack your feet on top of your knees. So right foot goes over left knee, and therefore your right knee goes over left foot. So if you can do that, do so. If you can't, just cross your legs, that's totally fine. So here, I'm going to bring my left arm down. So the opposite arm to the knee that's on top. So I'm going to bring my left arm down to the side of me. Either on your hand, or if you can, you come to your elbow. Chest stays forward. Feel that stretch down your side and into your hip. Keep that knee or that hip down. Your knee might be up slightly, but as long as your hip and your bum is down on that side, great. Don't let it pull off. If you're pulling up, just come back to your hand. Just stretching out the side. Once you're comfortable there, reach over your right arm over to the left. Really feel that side stretch. Going all the way down from your armpit to your hip. And holding there. Keep that hip down. Don't let it come up. And then we're going to gently come back up. We're going to swap over. Swap your cross-legged over if you've got your foot and knees stacked, feet and knees stacked. We're going to swap those over. So left foot over right knee, and left knee over right foot. That gets me muddled every time. And then we're going to bring your right hand down and come down onto the elbow if you can. If that's too much, just come to your hand. You just don't want to lift that hip up off the mat. Relax into that. Keep that hip down. You might want to push your knee down there. And then we're going to bring the left arm up and over. Don't let your head collapse into your shoulder. Just try and keep it lifted. Good. And I'm going to gently bring it up. Good. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees here. Hands into shoulders, knees into hips. We're going to arch our back up, pull your belly in, use your abdominal muscles to arch your back up, stretching out the back. And then we're going to reverse, looking forwards, arching the other way. So you've got a dip in your back, looking forwards. And we're going the other way again. Use your stomach muscles to pull your back up, arching like a cat. And then reverse. Feel that stretch in your abdominals there and your lower back. Good, and bring it to neutral. Bring your big toes together, knees wide as the mat, or wider than your hips if you don't have a mat. And you're going to reach your hands forward. Relax your head down onto the mat. Keep reaching forwards, stretching out the top of your back. You might carry tension here when you're running, so we really want to release the tension in the top of the back, in the shoulders. Shift your weight forwards. You're going to come forwards, drop yourself down. Relax onto your right arm as you reach behind for your left foot. Relax the right foot. Left hand in left is grabbing your left foot as you push your hips into the mat. So really push those hips into the mat. Push your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. Create a little bit of resistance with stretch. We're stretching out the quadriceps to the front of your thighs. These are generally very strong in runners, so we really want to stretch these out. These are muscles that work really hard when you're running. So we want to release. You can just relax your head down, but keep pushing that hip into the mat, foot into hand and hand into foot. Good, and gently release. Let's go to the other side. Reaching behind for the right foot, hips pushed into the mat. Push your hand into your foot and foot into hand. And you can relax your head down. Holding for another moment, keep pushing those hips down. And you're very gently going to release. And then push yourself back up onto your hands and knees. As we step our right, come up to kneeling, we're going to step our right foot forward. If you need to pop something under your left knee here to give it a bit of cushion, do so, or you can double fold your mat over if you've got a mat there. This right foot is only as far forward to the point where you've got a right angle behind your right knee, no further. So I want a right angle behind the right knee and your knee is over your ankle. If you're wobbling here, take that right foot further out to the right or hold on to something. Bring your hands onto your hips and I want you to tuck your pelvis. You tuck it underneath and then untuck it. So stick it out, tuck it underneath and release. Tuck it underneath and release again. And then this time we're going to keep it tucked. So you're tucking your tailbone underneath you. Feel the stretch here in your left hip crease. Squeeze your left glute. So your left bum, side of your bum, and you're going to squeeze there and feel the stretch here. Lean back slightly. Hip flexors again are often very tight in runners. And if your hip flexors are tight, it's very difficult to stretch out your hamstrings, the backs of your thighs. So we really want to release the tension in the hip flexors. And again, if your hip flexors are tight, your glutes really struggle to fire up when you're running, and that can lead to injury. So we really want to take the time to stretch out these hip flexors. So keep squeezing your left glute, tucking that tailbone underneath you and leaning back slightly. Great chance to open up the chest as well and pull your shoulders back. Bring your weight back over your hips. And then we're going to take that right foot all the way over to the left. Take it all the way over to the left. And you're going to drop your right knee down as you send your left leg long. It's what we call pigeon pose, and it's a great one again for your hips and your glutes. So I'm going to show you from the front as well. So you dropped your knee down. Your foot may be right under your hip crease there. I want you to try and pull it away. You may not be able to, but I want you to try and pull it away because the aim of this stretch is to really sink our hips into the mat so we can stretch out our glute there. So I want you to try and pull that foot away from your hip crease so you can sink your hips into the mat. Hips are over the mat. You are not rolling to the side. That's not going to help. So we want to keep the hips over the mat. And then you can think about sinking down. So I'm going to go back to the side. So don't worry if your foot is right under your hip and you're up like this. That's okay, as long as you can feel the stretch. But the aim is just to try and pull it away hips over the mat, and if you can, from there you can come onto your elbows and sink down. Now let's think about pulling kind of up and over and then down. Then just relax into that. If you can go a little bit further, you can drop your head down. And feel that stretch in your right glute and your right hip. Good, bring them up to your hands if you're not on your hands. Tuck your left toes so you can send your right foot back. We're going to come back to kneeling. And you're going to send your left foot forward. So we've got a right angle behind our left knee. If you're wobbling, remember to take it out further to the left. And we're going to tuck and untuck our pelvis. Good, keep going with that. And then we're going to leave it tucked. Squeeze your right glute. And then we're going to lean back slightly to really feel that stretch in the front of our hip crease there, into our hip flexors. That's it, keep squeezing that glute, keep that tailbone tucked underneath you. I like to think I've got a belt buckle on, you're trying to point it up to the ceiling. One more moment there. This can feel quite intense for a lot of us, but keep with it. Those are the stretches we need to do. It shouldn't hurt, but it's okay if it feels intense. You can always release and just come back to it. Come back, bring your weight back over your hips, and then we're going to take that left foot all the way over to the right. So you then can drop your knee down. Drop your knee down, drop your shin down, and try and pull your left foot away from your hip crease. Again, you might notice a difference on each side. Maybe it's much easier to pull your foot away from your hip crease on this side. You're thinking about putting your weight, your hips over the mat, so we're not rolling to the side. Hips over the mat. We're trying to sink those hips down. So when you're ready, if you can come onto your elbows. Feel that stretch here. Feeling it across the left hip and glute. You may also feel it a little bit into your right hip flex. And just relax into that. Come back onto your hands. When you're ready, tuck your toes on your right foot and we're going to send our left foot back. You're actually just going to drop your right knee down, bring it under your hip. As we push our left heel down, left leg straight, we're just stretching out our calf. So push that left heel down and away from you. And feel that stretch down the back of your leg there, your calf. Really push into your hands to push away. You can bend your knee here and feel how that stretch can move down, lower down your calf, maybe even into your Achilles. See how that feels? And release, send it long again. Bend your knee, feel how it moves. If you ever struggle with plantar fasciitis, shin splints, tendinitis in your foot, this stretch can really help. So straighten again, and in the top of the calf, and then we're going to bend the knee again, feel that stretch move. Good, and straighten. Let's bring that left knee in, and let's send the right leg long. Push the heel down and away. Good, we're nearly there. Last couple of stretches. Bend the right knee. Move my right foot out of the way so you can see. Bend the right knee to feel it move down your calf. Straighten again and bend again. And straighten. And let's bend it again. and straighten. Good, step both feet back. Let's walk our hands to our feet. You can drop to your knees first if you need to. Just bend your knees as much as you need to hold onto your ankles a moment. Still feeling that stretch down the back of your thighs, relax your head. Then we're going to roll up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Finally, I want to show you one of my favourite stretches. If you've ever had IT band issues or knee issues, this one could be really great for you. I want you to take your left foot, cross it over your right. Toes are in line, and then you're going to roll down. Reaching your hands down towards the mat. They may not touch the mat. You might want to hold your elbows, relax your head, and feel this stretch down this side of your right leg, from your hip to your knee, maybe even into your ankle. Weight forward over your toes. You can rotate a little bit here. So just moving your hands a little bit. And then we're going to bring it up and swap over. So swap the other foot over, so right leg over left, toes in line, and then we come down. You can hold your elbows or just let your hands touch the mat. You pick. So back leg's straight, front leg might be a little bit bent, so just get round that back leg, but back leg straight. And again, if you want to try just rotating a little bit side to side here, see how that feels? And let's bring it up. Good, reaching up, let's just reach up, reach behind, and roll those shoulders back and down. Great job everybody, there's a runner's stretch that you can add into your training a couple of times a week, 2 to 3 times a week is ideal. You don't need a lot of room as you see, so you can do it anywhere. Well done.